Before I talk or share my third story in this, let's do one more activity. Now, I would like you all to think about a challenging situation or a setback that you might have had recently faced in your life, and what was your internal monologue like then? What were the type of questions you were asking to yourself? Or did you seek help from someone during that time? I'll give you some time to think on it. And in the meantime, if there are any volunteers after the time is over who would want to come on stage and talk about it, it'll be really interesting. Or let's do one thing. Take out your mobile phones again. Again, do not look into any other app notifications. Open the notes section and I would like you to divide it into two parts. First, write the set of questions that you asked yourself when you were actually in that situation, when you were going through a chaotic time. What were the type of questions you asked? Mostly, I would say that they are a little negative, right? So let's be honest here and write that. And in the second half of the note section, write the type of questions that you would have asked if your friend would have been in that situation. And now I would request Abhigya to time for 3 minutes. Thank you. For the first half of the questions that you are writing, think about the common internal monologue that you have. How do you navigate through such a challenging situation? Do you do it all by yourself or you seek help? Or if you are a person with a positive vibe already, then you might have some brilliant questions in the first half itself. If not, then think about what kind of questions you could have asked that time to navigate that situation in a better way, now since that you are out of that setback situation. I like the idea that someone is actually using the pen and paper traditional way of writing. I had this idea in mind, but I thought that people might not be having a lot of pen and paper. So I thought mobile is better, but do not chat or text anyone else and do anything else. It's the time to ponder about your questions and seek answers for them. If you are struggling to find a challenging situation in your own life, you can also take some cues from your parents, sibling, friends, any situation that you help them navigate and write it down. That also is fine with me. Wow, people are turning pages, so there are a lot of answers I'm expecting. So if you are done writing, any one of you would like to come on stage and we can demonstrate together the situation or maybe talk about it. Yeah, so any volunteers from the floor? Okay, I see one hand raised. Thank you. Would you like to come here?
Yeah.
Because the time over?
20 minutes.
Okay, you can maybe take a seat. So I would need one more volunteer because I want to showcase how collaboration helps here. So if there is one more volunteer who can come on stage, and then we can create a dialogue between the two different contexts or different situations. Anybody from Gspeaks? We have one from Gspeakers. Okay, bring. Thank you for volunteering. Maybe both of you can take a chair, that's fine with me.
Okay.
So maybe if you have written both set of notes that I had asked you to write, let's discuss your situation first and what were the kind of questions that were coming in your mind. The first set of questions. And then maybe Ayush, you can help him navigate through that and help him what could have been the right set of questions he could have asked in that situation.
Do I need to describe the situation as well?
Little bit in a brief, if you are comfortable, and then start.
Okay, sure. So this was more of a work situation, and it was a difficult situation at work. It was like a toxic culture, some politics going on. So, but I realize now that I had kind of a mature way of thinking, probably because I was not blaming myself. I was also not blaming the situation. I was just in a situation, and for me the most important question was, how do I keep my motivation on a day-to-day basis? how do I not lose track of what I was doing and who I was as a person. So that I think was the most important question for me, which I realize now. So since you asked the question.
Okay. So, your thoughts on it, maybe you can try to help them.
I think there are many instances when we think someone is doing wrong about us or about the whole thing. But solution for everything is conversation. So first we have to start the conversation. Maybe they are not doing intentionally. So unintentionally, maybe it is harming to your team or your feelings against someone. Maybe resolved if you try to start a conversation. So maybe in place of having a question from ourselves that how should I keep me motivating, you could just reach to a senior folks and ask if so and so happens to you, how would you just keep on moving? Because we would have been in situation like this. So in place of going somewhat negative, you should take something as a positive, and you can reach out to some of the senior folks, because many a times you think they are going against you, but it is not intentional. So just keep a point that it's not always intentional. So yeah, that way you can approach things.
Yeah, wonderful. I mean, you don't have lost that answer. Now let's turn the tables and maybe you describe your situation and what you thought at that time.
Okay. So actually, I have a two set of questions for me. Last year, I went for a trip to Jaipur. So that time we were looking to hire a car, and we were set of 4 people along with my college friends. So none of us knew how to drive the car. So that time I asked myself, although I have a driver license, because I was sitting in Delhi and someone else was giving driving exam. So I just asked myself at that point of time, when exactly I will learn driving a 4-wheeler, and why I did not appear for the exam at that point of time when someone else was doing the same for me.
So sorry, just to understand the situation. You had the driver's license, but you are not
I'm still having the
driving.
driver's license, but I don't know to drive a
You still have
4-wheeler.
it.
Oh, acha, I got what you said.
So I was asking myself 2 questions: when I will learn driving a 4-wheeler, and second, why I was not present at that moment when someone else was giving test on behalf of me.
You know, one of the things that I have learned in life to just go with the flow. So if I was in your position, I would just go with the flow. You know,
Many of the
because
foods.
see, a lot of times we question ourselves and are not confident in ourselves. But what I have realized is that you just like take the first step and the next steps
Yes.
just keep happening.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I mean, your situation was a little, so don't take me seriously.
Again, the question arises with me regarding swimming. But it's easy. We can, go inside the water and nothing will happen. But this is.
Sorry, I think you did take me seriously. You don't know swimming, don't even go anywhere. But yeah, okay, let's get a little serious, right? So I think anything and everything we can learn. We just need to put our minds to it. And one of the biggest thing is fear. When I was learning swimming, I was actually a kid when I learned swimming, but I used to have nightmares of drowning. So the first thing that I needed to do is get the fear out of the way. So once you really overcome your fear, then you can do anything, whether it is swimming, driving, talking to a girl, like what.
All right. Thank you both of you for giving such answers. I'm sure you all might have had similar situations written in your notes, and this type of conversation helped you understand. The situation with Prem was going through, Ayush gave a brilliant answer that seek help. Ask for help from the seniors or people who have faced that situation, and do not internalize it too much or think about it too much within you. Sometimes sharing load also helps you ease out the situation. And the situation in which Ayush was, I think you gave the brilliant answer that take one step at a time, see how it goes, and then proceed. But do not go into water without any expert with you.
Supervision.
Right. That is exactly my third message to you all, the power of collaboration. Back in 2021, I used to actively pursue running. But then life happened and I could not continue it. Later this year, in my organization around January, I saw this post about Visa Women Walkathon. And there were two categories, 3 kilometer and 5 kilometer. Looking at the poster, I thought, why not start it again? And I registered myself for 5 kilometer race. Just 10 days before, I thought, okay, let me start practicing it. I do not really want to fail miserably on the day of the event. And I started with my running. The very first attempt that I did was completing 3 kilometers in 42 minutes. And like this, all exhausted, tired, and full of sweat. Then I realized I cannot do it all by myself. I need to seek some help. And I reached out to my VP, Sai, who also happens to be a pro runner and has completed a lot of marathons. He helped me understand that running is not only about reaching X kilometer in X minutes. It is a whole program in itself. You have to strength train, you have to stretch, you have to eat good food as well so that you do not feel tired the next day. And so with that mindset, I began to run every alternate day for the next 10 days before my actual marathon. Slowly and gradually, I improved my PR, and on the day of the run, I was able to complete 5 kilometers in 34 minutes, which was my personal best in last 4 years. So this example should help you understand the power of collaboration. Sometimes there are certain projects in your life or at work or any community project where a pool of knowledge helps you navigate a complex problem or helps you navigate a problem which is new to you. And in this scenario, or in the scenario of Ayush, like driving, swimming, or any other activity that you learn, if you have a peer with you who helps you navigate through the challenges, you're able to successfully maneuver your path and find answers for yourself. Like what may work for me may not work for Ayush or may not work for Janvi. But if we are having a mentor or a buddy along with us who can help us navigate, then that helps us to go through it. And that is my third message. Don't underestimate the power of collaboration in finding the answers to complex problems. Now, with this, I'd like to conclude this idea by saying that the answers that you want to find for all the questions are lying in the questions that you are avoiding.